guys and gals? Never here from Drake Wing Gaming and something about on Twitter, the gaming drag today. I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of Temptation's Ballad. So y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Alrighty. Many years had passed since Cole's father spoke that vow. In the years that followed, the Bonebreaker Guild became an official mercenary company. The name Marrow Bonebreaker became known across the land as the greatest warrior in Axia, his heart as big as his axe was sharp. A little bundle of joy in his father's hands quickly grew into a scrawny young hyena. Little Cole inherited his father's toothy, prideful grin and Hamish's sharp, calculating eyes. Every day he was showered in his father's loving embrace and supportive words, and he yearned to one day repay that kindness. Cole quietly made a vow of his own. He'd become a son worthy of the great Marrow Bonebreaker. It was the very least he could do. Then came the day where an injured young Cole was ushered into the healer's wing. The day where Cole was told of his decrepit body and how he would never become the warrior he vowed to be. The day where Cole hurled his unbridled rage and frustrations upon an undeserving Hamish. And it was on that day that his father found him hidden away in a dark corner of the training room, sobbing in shame. "There you are. Hamish told me what happened. You doing okay, son?" Cole sniffed as he struggled to wipe away the tears soaked across his face. "Go away!" "Afraid I can't do that. Not until I know you're okay." "Not happening. Did you hear? I'm never gonna be okay." "I guess I'll just have to stick by your side forever, huh?" His father chuckled quietly as he sat down with him on the cold wood floor. "So, what's got you so worked up?" "Don't ask stupid questions. My life is over." "You got a long and prosperous life ahead of you if I have anything to say about it. Come now, being a fighter isn't everything." "Don't pretend it's nothing. What's everyone going to think when they find out the son of Marrow Bonebreaker's a tiny little runt who can't even swing an axe?" "You think I give a damn about what anyone else thinks? You're still my son, my darling boy." Through the mess of sniffles and tears, Cole suddenly felt his father's hands gently pat him on the head. He felt the warmth through his hair as Marrow petted soothing circles into his scalp. He sniffed, the anger in his chest lulled still as he leaned into his father's touch. Marrow hummed, his voice low and reassuring. There, lad. Everything's gonna be alright. You don't have to be a warrior to please me, Cole, or need to please me at all. I'm just happy to be part of your life." "You don't have to lie to make me feel better." "Ha! Do I seem like the kind of guy to mince words?" "No." His father grinned and ruffled his hair playfully. "I'm looking forward to meeting the man you'll become, whoever that may be. You're my son, but that doesn't mean you need to be just like me. That's what makes life exciting, don't you think?" Cole sniffed. "I guess. Nothing makes me prouder than seeing you happy, my boy. As long as you manage to find joy in life, you'll have the happiest dad in the world. I hope you know that." Cole wiped away his tears and sighed into his father's comforting touch. "I do." He tried to sound sincere, but the stain of fear persisted through the edge of his voice. Fear couldn't be washed away with a few pretty words, after all. But as Cole sat there, with his father gently patting his head and whispering comforting words in his ear, he almost believed that everything was indeed all right. So, coffee time. Cole let out a sharp exhale as he pulled his consciousness out of the sea of memories. That was enough. This was too much. He could feel the prince's presence at his side, watching everything with horrified intrigue. Bile rose in his throat as he tried to push the mess of emotions out of his mind. "You've had your fill. It's time for you to pay your end of the bargain." Cole reached out towards the threads of magic tethering the minds together and seized. He felt himself tumble forward as he dipped headfirst into another deep, cold sea of memories. In the beginning, there was nothing, just a timeless sea of black. But within that vast ocean was a faint spark of awareness. There were people shuffling around him, researchers or enchanters perhaps. He didn't know what those words meant at the time, but he felt their sharp stabs of magic within his crystalline form as they poked and prodded at him. They wanted something from him, he realized. They wanted to change him somehow. He wasn't sure why, but he hoped they found what they were looking for soon. Even as a simple crystal sitting on a pedestal, he felt his energy shift painfully with every minute adjustment. Day after day, he felt himself twist and change a little more. Everything began to feel colder, emptier, numb. Along with the numbness came a flood of raw power. Magic swelled up in his core like rushing waves from a downpour of rain, filling him up so quickly that he felt like he might burst. Is this what he was supposed to feel? what he was supposed to be? It was uncomfortable to say the least. Whatever these people wanted from him, he wasn't sure he was doing a good job. After what felt like an eternity in the timeless dark, he felt someone pluck his crystalline body out of his glass casing. Something was happening, he realized. Everything that he experienced led up to this moment. He hoped he didn't disappoint. Cold, feathered fingers held him in the palm of their hands in cold regard. Suddenly, he felt the crimson metallic tang of blood drip onto him, slowly seeping into his very being. His senses exploded to life as arcane radiance bled into the room. Light and flesh twisted around themselves like the gnarled roots of a tree, growing outwards from his core to form the beginnings of a torso, and then limbs, and then finally, a head. Everything began to feel louder. He felt the cold touch of the laboratory floor clack against his taloned feet, and as he stood still, his eyes sealed shut. There was a faint citric scent of magic as soft garments sprung to life, wrapping themselves around his naked body. A newly formed heart pounded apprehensively in his chest as he instinctively held his breath. Was he supposed to do something now? Should he move? Or ask a question? He had vocal cords now, he realized, and he was certain he could speak if he wanted to. All that prodding from the researchers had filled his mind with strange things. The workings of this city called Axia, the history of its royal family. He wondered what he was supposed to do with such knowledge. Then, he froze. His heart skipped a beat as he realized whoever removed him from his glass case was standing right in front of him. Roderick. Open your eyes. The voice was low and whisper soft, but it carried a dangerous, sharp edge that he didn't dare cross. His eyelids felt heavy as he attempted to pry them open and meet his maker. Ah, King Roderick. The first thing he noticed was a pair of sharp, amber eyes peering back as the glowering face of Roderick Deluvium regarded him coldly. The royal peacock circled around him in silence, taking in every detail of his being with a measured look. He gulped and fought the urge to step away from the glaring man. The flesh appears to be adequate. The elder man mumbled to himself as he grabbed his new creation by the chin and lifted his head to observe him more closely. You will answer when spoken to. How do you feel? Any pain or faults to be addressed? I am functional, sir. A dull and monotone voice spilled out of his throat before he could think. The dark peacock nodded and released his chin. Agatha did fine work. My adjustments seem to have taken hold without issue. Tell me, what is my name? The knowledge sprung forth immediately in his mind. You're King Roderick Deluvium of the city of Axia. And what is the city of Axia? The capital of the Mediatus Kingdom, located at the base of Mount Zenithar, claimed by its locals to be the center of the world. It is famed as a research hub of arcanotech and for its export of arcane crystals mined from the mountain. Good, good. What is your purpose? He paused as unearned knowledge swirled within his skull. I am the vessel. I am to introduce myself to the people as your son. I am next in line to the Axian throne after your majesty and Queen Tabitha Deluvium pass away. He watched as the dark peacock nodded in quiet approval and felt a flicker of pride in his chest. At least he was doing something correctly. The dark peacock muttered quietly to himself as he sorted through his thoughts. A little stiff, but performs competently enough. It should be ready to make sparse public appearances after preparations are made. Sir, may I ask a question? Roderick glared at him sharply. An empty vessel should not ask questions. He gulped. There's a gap in my knowledge, sir. The king gazed at him carefully before nodding. Ask your question. What is my name? The king frowned. Your knowledge implantation did not include this? It must have slipped my mind. Roderick stepped close, brushing his fingers across his new creation's cheek with a glimmer of pride and hope in his eyes. You are something extraordinary. Something new, unlike anything else in this rotted and finite earth. For the first time, Roderick Deluvium smiled. You are Cassius, the ark upon which we will sail into the new world. There was a strange sense of fulfillment burning in Cassius's chest, mixed with a creeping dread. On the day of his birth, he was given a name and a purpose. He was the vessel. He would carry out King Roderick's wishes after he died. It was a long and complicated scheme, but he only needed to follow a few simple instructions before the reins were taken from him. It was simple enough. Cassius was content with the life he was given, but therein lied the dreaded suspicion that something had gone terribly wrong. He was the vessel, the empty vessel. An empty vessel shouldn't have a sense of fulfillment, should it? Or be nervous about the tasks at hand, or feel this desperate yearning for approval from his maker. Had he failed already? Should he tell King Roderick about this? The frightening apprehension gnawed through Cassius's chest, but he swallowed it down with a stubborn gulp. No. An empty vessel wouldn't confess to having concerns, would it? Perhaps he wasn't perfectly empty, but he could try. This was the purpose he was given, and he intended to follow through. And so, when King Roderick and his researchers locked him inside a new glass case for safekeeping, Cassius kept his mouth shut. He willed the traitorous thoughts out of his head as he was wheeled into a warded storage room for safekeeping. He would do his best to be empty. It was what he was made to be. Cassius forced himself to stay stone still. He did not emote as the storage room doors slammed shut and the protection spell sprang to life. He didn't utter a word as he heard the muffled voice of his maker address his researchers through the thick concrete. And so the project is finally complete. Thank you for all your hard work. You are now relieved from your duties. Cassius didn't make a sound as screams rang out from the other side of the door, followed by a bright flash of modified memories flooding through the cracks. Soon, there was silence, and silence was all Cassius knew for a very long time. Cassius stood as motionlessly as he could muster, but the world outside his window breathed with a life of its own. It was beautiful. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there, y'all. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, check out our Patreon or YouTube memberships if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!